Joining us on News Express, my name is Oladoyin Ayegbusi. Now the news in detail. President Bola Tinubu will present the 2025 budget to a joint assembly of the National Assembly next week Tuesday, December 17. This was disclosed by the Senate President Godswill Akpabio during plenary session today, saying the budget presentation will take place at the House of Representatives chamber. Recall President Tinubu had earlier submitted the medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper for 2025 to 2027 to both the Senate and House of Representatives last Tuesday. However, the Senate Committee on Finance, National Planning and Economic Affairs has been directed to consider the document and invited the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, to issue a warrant of arrest to compel the Managing Director of Julius Berger Nigeria Limited, PLC, Pierre Lubask, to appear before its Committee on Works at a date to be specified by the Red Chamber. The resolution of the Senate followed its consideration and adoption of a point of order moved by the Minority Whip, Senator Osita Ugu, PDP, Enugu West during plenary. Ugu, in his motion, which was co-sponsored by Senators Asuku Ekpeyong, APC Cross River South, and Barinada Mpigi, PDP River South East, informed the Senate that Julius Berger PLC has consistently refused to appear before the Senate Committee on Works to answer questions on abandoned projects and alarming contract variation from 54 billion naira to 195 billion naira. Akpabio said that the date for the arrest would be stated in the warrant. Still in the National Assembly, the plenary of the House of Representatives went up in uproar in the early hours of today as members of the opposition protested the defection of another member of the Labour Party to the All Progressives Congress APC. The member representing Just South, Just East Federal Constituency of the Plateau State announced his defection to the APC. However, his decision was greeted by an uproar by opposition members who insisted that his seat should be declared vacant. His defection to the APC, which brings to 6 the number of Labour Party members to have defected within 1 week, was witnessed by former Plateau State Governor Senator Simon Lalong. And away from the National Assembly, the Minister of Power, Adébáyọ̀ Adélabú, says Nigeria is on track to add 150 megawatts to the national grid before end of 2024, following successful completion of the pilot phase of the Presidential Power Initiative (PPI). Adélabú said after a closed-door meeting with German President Frank-Walter Steinmeier and President Bola Tinubu, noting that upgrade will be made to the national grid with the importation, installation and commissioning of 10 power transformers and 10 power mobile
completed the pilot phase of this project up to 80%. This involves the importation, the installation and commissioning of 10 power transformers and 10 power mobile substations. They've been imported, they've been installed, and lots of them have been commissioned. We have just about 2 left to be commissioned before the end of the year. The positive impact of this is that it has added nothing less than 750 megawatts to our transmission grid capacity, which is why the relative stability that we are seeing in the grid today is a direct positive impact of the pilot stage completion.
The minister's comment came at a time that the national grid collapsed for the 12th time in the year. He, however, assured that with work ongoing on the grid, Nigerians will have a better experience going forward.
So, and we believe that before the end of the year, additional 150 megawatts capacity is going to be added on completion of the entire pilot phase. And we are quite confident from the satisfaction that we got from the implementation of the pilot stage. By the time we are done with the phase 1 project in the transmission, the entire grid will not remain the same. And that's why we're telling Nigerians that this is a very old grid, it's quite fragile and it's dilapidated. We need to revamp the entire grid for us to be sure of stability. That is the Presidential Power Initiative.
Nigeria's Minister of Power, Adébáyọ̀ Adélabú, speaking there. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has proposed reforms to improve the country's electoral system following lessons learned from the 2023 general election and subsequent off-cycle polls. The commission also confirmed it will soon present its legislative proposal to the relevant committees in the Senate and House of Representatives. At a meeting with resident electoral commissioners in Abuja today, INEC Chairman Professor Mahmood Yakubu outlined the commission's vision to address long-standing challenges and modernize election management. The International Human Rights Commission (IHRC) has raised concerns over the persistent ethnic and religious conflicts undermining Nigeria's unity and stability, warning that the trend poses a significant threat to the nation's future. The IHRC head of diplomatic mission, Duru Ezekiel, delivered this cautionary note today during the symposium themed Unity in Diversity, Embracing Reform, Equality and Dignity for All, held in Abuja, where the Commission also inaugurated its new officials. Ezekiel noted that Nigeria, with its rich diversity of over 250 ethnic groups and more than 500 spoken languages, holds immense potential. However, the diversity, he argued, has not been fully harnessed for development due to diversive forces. The Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, has finalized the framework for the establishment of a $75 million ECOWAS Renewable Energy and Energy Efficiency Facility. Besides, ECOWAS said it would need about $19 billion investment towards improving storage facilities, milling initiatives, and enhancing mechanization in paddy production. The President, ECOWAS Commission, Tauri, made this disclosure today at the opening of the 93rd Ordinary Session of the ECOWAS Council of Ministers holding in Abuja. Tauri said, commended the ongoing work on the Nigerian-Morocco gas pipeline project as part of some of the integrated projects for the community. He also listed other integrated programs aimed at integrating the region, including the 6,800-kilometer Nigeria-Morocco gas pipeline project, regulation on roaming, direct flights, water, among others. 15 governors of the All Progressives Congress are present at a meeting. However, Governor Alex Oti of Abia State, elected on the platform of the Labour Party, and his Anambra State counterpart, Chukwu Masoludo of the All Progressives Grand Alliance, ABGA, were the only opposition governors in attendance. Recall governors have been confronted with tax reform bills presented by President Bola Tinubu to the National Assembly to have generated widespread controversy and spark scathing criticisms. The stiff opposition from the 36 state governors under the aegis of the National Economic Council. The 19 governors in northern Nigeria have also unequivocally rejected sections of the bills and called for the withdrawal of the bills from the National Assembly. In Ekiti State, Ekiti Airport Ekiti Airport Ado Ekiti today has received NCCA's approval for non-scheduled flights starting December 15, 2024. The approval, valid for 6 months until June 15, 2025, was granted in response to the state government's request for a flight operational permit. Compliance steps are required for the airport's non-scheduled flight operations, including coordination with relevant agencies for essential services. According to the Governor's Chief Press Secretary, Yinka Oyebode, Governor Biodun Oyebanji has welcomed the approval as a positive step towards the airport's operationalization, emphasizing its significance for Ekiti State's development. Prof. Sam Olualo Foundation, SOAF, has today supported over 1,000 widows in Ido Ekiti with clothing materials and food items, as well as cash gift to alleviate the current economic challenges. The event, which is an annual gesture by the founder of Grace of Mercy Prayer Mountain, Prophet Sam Olualo, featured scholarship award to 19 secondary school students in Idosi local government areas. There is a report of how the event went. It is an annual ritual for the Sam Oluwalo Foundation, SWAF, to give back to the community, especially in hard times. The foundation is at it again as it today distributed food items, clothing materials, and cash gifts to over 1,000 vulnerable widows in Ido-Ekiti, Ekiti State. In his remark, Senior Special Advisor to Ekiti State Governor on Local Government Matters, Honorable Rotimi Afolabi, said the need to appreciate good efforts in the town is necessary, hence commending the Prophet for his wonderful gesture. He also used the occasion to call on other well-meaning sons and daughters of Ido-Ekiti to support in the Prophet's drive to make the town more prosperous.
He's not a politician. This is what the politician is supposed to be doing, and he took it up as something that he believes in. So I want to advise our sons and daughters who are well to do, that God has enriched, that they should come out and submit themselves absolutely to make sure that the youth, the widows, and Ido is moving to the greater heights.
The event also featured scholarship awards to 19 students who excelled in the 2024 Sam Oluwalo Scholarship Examination. The scholarship will cover the complete funding of their senior secondary school examination, SSCE. The founder of the foundation and planter of Grace of Mercy Prayer Mountain, Prophet Sam Oluwalo, while speaking, said the initiative was born out of his passion to alleviate the suffering of the vulnerable people, especially widows in Ido land. He charged them to always embrace happiness among themselves and have an open mind towards one another. Prophet Oluwalo also urged the students to remain hardworking and not entertain distractions in their academics. The two best winners, Omotola Sunday and Akomolafe Ayomide, who spoke on behalf of others, appreciated the gesture and pledged to be more hardworking in their future academic endeavors.
I'm very happy today for this opportunity to come here, and I thank God for our daddy that gave me this opportunity, and I pray for him that God will help.
I feel very happy, and I pray that God will continue to bless our prophet. Like, he will continue to grow in his ministry.
This kind of initiative is expected to spur many secondary school students to stay on the lane of hard work and encourage others to put in their best wherever they find themselves. The widows also expressed gratitude to the Prophet for alleviating their sufferings by feeding them and their children during the festive period. Meanwhile, Prophet Sam Oluwalo has emphasized the need for a collective effort among Nigerians to combat corruption in the country. The Prophet made this call while speaking in Ido-Ekiti, where he provided support to over 1,000 widows with food items, clothing, and cash. According to the Prophet, virtually every Nigerian has contributed to the high level of corruption ravaging the country, stressing that to effectively fight corruption, all hands must be on deck. Prophet Oluwalo also attributed Nigeria's predicaments to a lack of committed leaders who are willing to serve the people, emphasizing that Nigerian leaders should possess the political will, determination, and intentionality to tackle corruption.
Most of àwọn tó wà níjọba ló lérò rere lọ́kàn ṣùgbọ́n àti yọ̀ǹda àkókò wọn yẹn wípé ẹ̀yin ènìyàn mi o ẹ jẹ́ lórí mi ní kékeré yìí ni kò ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ní tó fún wa ní ìṣòro ní Nàìjíríà nìyẹn.
The Prophet's call to action comes at a time when Nigeria is grappling with the challenges of corruption. As Prophet Oluwalo continues to provide support to vulnerable members of the society, his message of collective responsibility and leadership accountability serves as a rallying cry for Nigerians to come together to tackle the scourge of corruption. You're still listening to News Express on Adamimogo 107.7 FM. Idoikiti coming up next. Business, foreign, entertainment, and sport news. Please stay with us.
Top stories, real voices.
Have arrived in Lagos, according to authorities in Nigeria.
Tune in to Adamimogo 107.7 FM for a fresh perspective on news. Adamimogo 107.7 FM, the voice of the light.
Welcome back and thanks for joining us again. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook via Adamimogo 107.7 FM Idoikiti. For happenings around you and news inquiries, please contact our newsroom on 0811 801 8242. Now to the rest of the news. The Understep chapter of the New Nigeria People's Party (NNPP) has rejected the suit instituted by its candidate Oladoyin Ayegbusi, challenging the candidature of Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa of the All Progressives Congress (APC) and his deputy Olayide Adelami at the Federal High Court sitting in Akure, Ondo State capital. The National Legal Advisor of NNPP, Robert Hunt, stated that the party did not authorize any suit against the candidacy of Aiyedatiwa and his deputy. Hence, the party requested that its name be withdrawn from the suit. And on business news, the Nigerian Exchange Limited maintained its bullish trend on Wednesday as market capitalization gained 183 billion naira. This comes as the NGX market capitalization, which opened at 59,532 naira, 32 trillion naira, gained 184 billion naira, or 0.31%, to close at 59,715 trillion naira. The all share index also added 0.31%, or 303 points, to settle at 98,509,068 against 98,206,097 recorded on Tuesday. To this end, the year-to-date YTD return increased to 31.74%. And on the foreign scene, teenager Gukesh of India has become the youngest undisputed chess world champion by beating defending champion Dig Liren of China in a dramatic turn of events in the last game of a 14-game match in Singapore. Gukesh, 18, is 4 years younger than Gary Kasparov, who had been the youngest world champion since 1985 when he beat Anatoly. Gukesh won today's game with the black piece after Ding watered under pressure and blundered in what commentators considered to be a comfortable position, snatching the title with a final score of 7-5 to 6-5. And on entertainment, Funke Akindele urges fans to fight piracy ahead of a film release. A success. Ariola is standing by.
Good evening and welcome to Entertainment News. American singer and actress Selena Gomez has reportedly announced her engagement to her boyfriend, producer Benny Blanco. The superstar made the announcement via her Instagram page yesterday. While flaunting a huge diamond ring, she simply captioned, "The photo forever begins now." Her fiancé, Blanco, took to the comment section and wrote that's his wife. The couple had confirmed that they were dating in December 2023. Still on showbiz world, ahead of Everybody Loves Jennifer premiere, award-winning actress and filmmaker Funke Akindele has voiced her frustration over the rampant piracy tormenting Nigeria's film industry, as she passionately made an appeal to her fans to avoid engaging in piracy. The box office queen lady taken to her social media handles, where she thinks that recording videos in cinemas constitutes piracy and significantly harms the industry. She highlighted the hard work and financial investment that went into the production and warned that anyone caught recording during screenings will be arrested. And that's all on the entertainment news. My name is Success Areola.
It's ahead of the Ported Award ceremony coming up next week, Monday, December 16 in Marrakesh, Morocco. Falcons forward Chiamaka Okochukwu has today made a final shortlist for the 2024 CAF Women's Young Player of the Year award. Okochukwu, who plays the lead for the Falcons at the 2024 FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup, scores 2 goals in 4 outings for Chris Danjuma's side at the competition. Okochukwu will battle Egypt's Habiba Sabri and Doha El Madani of Morocco for the award. In the meantime, Edo Queens have been included in the final shortlist for the 2024 CAF Women's Club of the Year alongside African champions TP Manzabi and AS FAR of Morocco. Edo Queens, who won the Waffle B Women's Champions League earlier in the year, finished 4th at the 2024 CAF Women's Champions League last month. The Benin City Club will be beholden to become the first Nigeria club. The Benin City Club will be beholden to become the first Nigerian club to win the award next Monday. And that's sports news. I am Kingsley Inyovusa.
And with those sports stories, we end this edition of News Express on Adamimogo 107.7 FM. Ido-Ekiti. Just before we go, the highlight again. We told you that President Bola Tinubu has called for peace and unity